Okay, so I'm a little bit of an old book whore. And because I am a firm believer in timeline deception, I actively seek out books that are older than the 1900s. Now, in my opinion, I think we've been indoctrinated since the mid 1800s. So I have a really, really hard time trying to find any books that are older than 1850. So anytime I go to a bookstore, there's a used bookstore here in my town, and I will sit there for at least an hour and look through every single old book, and they constantly get new ones every week. But I came across this one, and original copyright is in 1877, so that's about as close to 1850 as I have been able to get in a really long time. I spent like 3, maybe 4 hours yesterday just going through this book and reading this encyclopedia of just a plethora of knowledge from the late 1800s. Last night I read things about giants that were found and how they were buried and how much the bones weighed. They weighed like 300 pounds. I also read that elephants lived to be 400 years old and swans were living to 200 years old. Because it is a encyclopedia of wit and wisdom, there is also some hilarious jokes and short stories and poetical. This is just the most fascinating book I have ever put my hands on. There's information in here about Egyptian things that were found on the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon, and different findings of like these people who launched a rock off a hill and it opened up a cavern in this mountain in Utah, and it was like ancient site with mummies and like statues of every single kind of animal. And these are all collections of journals and things that people of huge historical notes and wealth have talked about and shared. So I'm going to start this TikTok channel and dedicate it to the information that I uncover in this book. And I hope your mind is as blown as I am, because this is the most incredible find I've ever had in my life, and I can't find anything about this book. So follow along, enjoy the journey.
No medical exams on.
A first-hand account of my favorite Christmas story was actually found inside of this Bible recently. This letter tells the story of the Christmas Day truce. Now, I had heard of that, and there are even some old advertisements that talk about this Christmas Day truce between Great Britain and Germany during the First World War. And when I read this letter, I was just brought me to tears. I'm going to share that with you now. On Christmas Eve at about 4 o'clock, our guns were shelling the German trenches, but then stopped, and a little rifle fire was kept up until about 5 when it became dark. Now, this is when the Germans are fighting the English in the trenches in France. And when the shooting stopped, we began to sing carols and songs, and the Germans began to do the same. And after a bit, we put candles and lights on top of the trenches to cheer things up a bit, and carried on a sort of matey conversation with the enemy. As things seems to be going very well, we thought we may as well get on top. So 4 of us got out on top of the parapet and struck matches, which was received by a cheer from the other side. And so we all got out, and we held a concert and dance out in the open. And after this, a few of us thought it would be just as well to shake hands and exchange cigarettes, etc. with them. So we called them out and met a few of them halfway between the trenches. And they were jolly good sports too. And on Christmas Day, we had a football out in front of the trenches and asked the Germans to send a team to play us. But either they thought the ground was too hard because it had been freezing all night, or their officers told them they couldn't. Anyhow, we had a chat that afternoon, and one of them produced a camera. And so we had a group photo, and there were 12 of us and 12 of the Germans. And we had Christmas dinner, and it wasn't the greatest, but it did consist of sausages, biscuits, and chocolates. And speaking of chocolate, it was awfully good of you to send that chocolate, which arrived safely and went down very well. And Reflecting on it, Christmas Day in the trenches was a sort of ragtime war affair, and I think about the funniest thing I've ever struck. If you imagine by any chance that we had a rotten Christmas, I can assure you that you were very much mistaken. Written the day after Christmas, the 26th of December, 1914. This is the first year of the war. It was written with pencil because a pen wouldn't work, but look at that. It's 7 pages front and back, and this somehow survived inside this family Bible. It's postmarked also. War mail. A first-hand account.
Man, come on, man. Come on, Bagani. You got something to do for Rue.
Okay, so I will say I'm stupid for drinking. That knife fell out of that little fucking knife container thingy. No. 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 Is this all because, dude, this is getting dangerous, bro. You're gonna cut yourself. You need to be careful. Fucking no. Actually, oh, what the fuck just happened? Right in front of my fucking face. Fucking shit. No. It's a regular old fucking knife container thingy. No, stop. I'm not even hungry anymore. Okay, so I will.
What are you doing, step bro?
I say, yeah, buddy. Rolling like a big shot. Chevy tuned up like a NASCAR pit stop. Fresh paint job, fresh inside. Is the outside frame in the trunk wide?